Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. The gigantic beast god grabbed the trophies with his claw and flew back like a flash of light. He was so fast that even Payphone Knight couldn't catch him. In my pocket. Luo Feng waved his hand and put the space ring, the world ring, and the true treasure armor into his own world ring. A furious roar blasted near Luo Feng's ears. Blade River Emperor, you're just greedy. Luo Feng turned around and saw Payphone Knight dashing toward him. He grinned and transmitted his voice. Payphone Knight, you're a candidate deified general. Are you really that stupid? Do you really believe Bark Mirror Emperor would have left my true treasures alone if I were the one who got killed? What a joke. If you want them back, take them with your own hand. Payphone Knight was infuriated. The only rule in the universe was to fight. If Bark Mirror Emperor killed Luo Feng, he would have taken Luo Feng's true treasures as well. As for Payphone Knight, he thought Blade River Emperor should have given the true treasure back to him as he had already asked politely and promised not to kill him. You moron. You're too arrogant. Payphone Knight transmitted his roaring sound, and there was fire burning in his eyes. He was more than 1,000 feet tall, which made him look taller and bigger than Bark Mirror Emperor. Though he couldn't catch up with Luo Feng instantly, he opened his mouth. An intangible attack dashed Luo Feng in light speed. Soul attack. It was faster even than the spiritual force weapon, and it was flexible. No. Luo Feng was terrified but couldn't dodge it. He could only withstand the attack with all his power. Payphone Knight was a candidate deified general, which meant he had already reached the perfect level at one of the 72 deified general inheritances. His soul amplification already reached 100 times, which was the limit, and he also learned a set of special attacks that only belonged to deified generals. The power of that set of attacks was more powerful than the talent techniques of many special life forms. It was the ultimate technique of deified general inheritance, and it was a universe master level technique. Payphone Knight, as a being at the same level as Shi Luo Duo, had a life gene level of more than 60 times. Besides, he was a universe knight who had a godly body 100 times that of an undying fighter, which meant his godly body was 600 million times stronger than that of a sector lord, which made it more powerful than Luo Feng's original earthling body. Stronger godly body, perfect soul amplification, universe overlord level willpower, and universe master level technique. He was superior to Luo Feng in all aspects. It was soundless. When Luo Feng's godly body was attacked, he could feel that his godly power was being stripped away. This technique attacked the life imprint in the godly power directly, and its goal was to completely destroy the life imprint, which was equivalent to destroying Luo Feng's soul. Guard! 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 Luo Feng was roaring in his heart, with his willpower and burning godly body controlling Tower Pearl. Star Pearl gleamed and locked Luo Feng's godly body, which protected him from all the fierce attacks from Payphone Knight. Although he was inferior to Payphone Knight in all aspects, without Tower Pearl, his soul would have been crushed completely under one attack. However, this was when the power of a true treasure was manifested. Luo Feng could resist Bark Mirror Emperor's talent technique with Tower Pearl when he was only a sector lord, and now that his godly power was half that of Payphone Knight and he had the Tower Pearl to guard his soul. Haha, laughed Luo Feng. Payphone Knight, your technique is not that impressive. Luo Feng transmitted his voice and started to flee like a beam of light. He knew that a universe overlord had multiple techniques, and he would have to utilize all he'd gotten if he wanted to fight a universe overlord. Besides, even if he utilized everything he had, a win wasn't guaranteed. He had just become undying, and he still hadn't gotten a top-tier true treasure like Force Arm. Shi Wu Wing was utilized, and Luo Feng started to flee swiftly among the space fragments. What? Payphone Knight said. He resisted it. Payphone Knight was shocked. Bark Mirror Emperor speculated that Luo Feng had a soul true treasure after hunting Luo Feng before, but he didn't report it back to the seniors of Northern Territory Alliance because soul attack was a merciless technique and soul true treasures were precious without comparison. True treasures like pieces of armor and the Shi Wu wings could only weaken soul attacks. As for soul true treasures, they could guard the soul. If Flying Palace true treasures could defend one against material attacks, soul true treasures could defend the soul. Soul true treasures were more attractive to great beings, which was why Bark Mirror Emperor didn't make it public, as he was afraid that Luo Feng would be killed by some supreme being in Northern Territory Alliance. Thus, he couldn't get the soul true treasure. Instead, he had been waiting for the perfect opportunity, yet he resorted to self-destruction. Seeing Luo Feng escape like a flash of light, Pei Feng started to chase him and performed another technique. Law Domain. Pei Feng Knight knew he didn't have much time, as the supreme beings of the human race might arrive soon. After that, he wouldn't have the chance. The hundreds of millions of miles of space around them turned silent, trapped in the law domain. Luo Feng was trapped as well. Law domain, of time law. He was stunned. Undying fighters could perform law domain, and so could universe knights. Besides, space and time law were more superior than gold, wood, water, fire, ground, wind, thunder, and light. Control over law domain could make the power of law domain surge. Even as powerful as Luo Feng's world projection had been as a sector lord, the law domain of official-level undying fighters could rival his world projection. Pei Feng Knight gazed at Luo Feng coldly. Wind annihilation, he cried. The flow of time was bizarre within the time domain. Luo Feng tried to flee, but miniature tornadoes showed up around him, each about the size of an eyeball. They surrounded Luo Feng and dashed at him one after another. Get the hell away, Luo Feng shouted. He tried to use his Shawu wings to block the tornadoes, but they dodged the wings' strikes, easily making contact with Luo Feng's godly body. He didn't dare to close his Shawu wings completely. If he did so, he would be significantly slower, and he would be caught by Pei Feng Knight. Although he was already affected by space law domain, it was not omnipotent. He could still change direction and keep his distance from Pei Feng Knight. The miniature tornadoes bit into Luo Feng's body. 60% of Luo Feng's godly body was gone immediately, which terrified Luo Feng. He's trying to annihilate my godly body, Luo Feng thought in horror. Fortunately, he had stored his world rings on his body where he hid remote ocean body, Mosha body, and golden horned beast body. The world ring with remote ocean body let out godly power, restoring Luo Feng's godly body. Luo Feng's godly body kept being weakened, but each time, it recovered. So this is the power of a universe overlord, said Luo Feng. He isn't even close to me yet, but he can still damage me like that. Luo Feng kept using his Shawu wing to keep his distance from Pei Feng Knight. He's still alive, said Pei Feng Knight. Pei Feng Knight was dazed. Although this move wasn't effective against universe overlords at his level, it was lethal against ordinary universe knights. It was a technique made for time law domain. His godly body is constantly being consumed, but somehow, it's still at 100%. But of course, he has the clone technique. He must have stored a body. Pei Feng Knight had figured it out. Bark Mirror Emperor had used the virtual network to broadcast the fight against Luo Feng when it first started, but when he realized he couldn't even defend himself against Luo Feng, he had turned off the broadcast as he felt ashamed. Which was why the heirs in the open-air square of the world of glory and other superpowers in the universe only knew that Luo Feng had crushed Bark Mirror Emperor. Pei Feng Knight had not known that Luo Feng had brought his bodies to the fight. Pei Feng Knight's eyes gleamed with madness. I can only kill him after destroying his bodies. Pei Feng quickly hatched a plan. He had said he wouldn't kill Blade River Emperor before, as he knew Blade River Emperor would be revived even if he killed him. However, Blade River Emperor was obviously carrying his bodies with him. He didn't know exactly how many bodies Blade River Emperor had, but the number couldn't be large. Together with the original body, some fighters had 2 godly bodies while others had 3. Pei Feng Knight's eyes glinted fiercely. Kill, he snorted. 2 black whirlwinds came out of his nose and flew toward Luo Feng like 2 miniature black dragons. The 2 black whirlwinds didn't appear powerful, but all the space fragments they touched vanished immediately. Danger, danger, danger. Luo Feng felt the wind's life-threatening essence and quickly realized he was in trouble. My human godly body will be annihilated immediately if I am touched by these 2 black whirlwind, thought Luo Feng. Although he was significantly inferior when it came to battle techniques, he could still sense that the 2 black whirlwinds were the most horrendous attacks he had ever encountered. Pei Feng Knight had already made 3 moves. The first move was one of the deified general ultimate techniques, and it was terrifically powerful. Luo Feng had withstood that attack with his Tower Pearl. The second move was a material attack, which was used when being cornered by weaker universe knights. However, it could still destroy half of Luo Feng's godly body. As for the third move, it was a material attack used when fighting Universe Overlord. Both of the 2 black whirlwinds were hundreds of times more powerful than the miniature tornadoes. No, thought Luo Feng. I'm trapped in Time Law domain now, so even if I use Ancient Boat Galaxy, I can't get away. Perhaps he'll even take my Ancient Boat Galaxy. As for my Mosha body, He is only able to perform domain when he's alone, so I would need to put my original Earthling body back in the world ring. However, Pei Feng Knight would never give me a chance like that. Luo Feng flew swiftly with his Shi Wu wing. He had made up his mind. Neither Ancient Boat Galaxy nor Mosha body was suitable. That left him with only one option. Pei Feng Knight pursued Luo Feng, his eyes glinting greedily. He's got to have a soul true treasure to be able to resist my deified general technique, he thought. He's got to. No wonder Bark Mirror Emperor wasn't able to kill the then Sector Lord Blade River Emperor. And Bark Mirror Emperor had the benefit of an incredibly powerful talent technique. Pei Feng Knight was feeling more confident now. The deified general technique could severely damage even a universe overlord. Luo Feng would need a soul true treasure to resist it. A soul true treasure. The human race must indeed highly value Blade River Emperor. Even I, as a universe overlord, don't have that kind of true treasure. Pei Feng Knight watched the black whirlwinds closing in and shouted eagerly, "Die! Die! I'll take your true treasures after you're dead." Pei Feng Knight was a universe overlord, yet he only had 2 true treasures, both of which were mediocre and common. One was a piece of protective armor, and the other was a blade. He immediately figured out that this peerless talent of the human race had a true treasure wing and a soul true treasure. "Die! Die!" Pei Feng Knight cried, watching expectantly. It's all over, he thought. Even a universe knight with true treasure armor is likely to be killed by this move. All was silent. 2 black whirlwinds intertwined with each other as they got closer and closer to Luo Feng. "Pei Feng Knight, you've left me no choice." Luo Feng transmitted his roaring voice. A towering shadow suddenly appeared behind Luo Feng. It was more than 5,500 miles tall. A godly body standing at a height of 5,500 miles was a terrific sight, and Pei Feng Knight was shocked to his very core. What kind of special life form is this? Pei Feng Knight stammered. A godly body at a height of more than 5,500 miles existed almost exclusively among flesh and blood-type living beings. Earth only had a diameter of 6,000 miles. This living being was nearly as large as the planet Earth. The entire godly body started to burn, and the godly tower surged, destabilizing the Time Law domain. Although Remote Ocean Body only had a life gene level of 1,000 times and the original Earthling body had a level of 3,000 times, Remote Ocean Body emitted millions of times greater pressure to the Time Law domain than the original Earthling body. The reason? Remote Ocean Body was simply gigantic. The godly power he burned every second was more than 100 million times that the original Earthling body did. The 2 black whirlwinds pursued Luo Feng at light speed, but Remote Ocean Body charged directly at the black whirlwind. Luo Feng had chosen the most appropriate time to let out Remote Ocean Body, as he did so when the black whirlwinds were only 6,000 miles away from him. Remote Ocean Body enveloped the black whirlwinds. Like snow melting under the sun's rays, Remote Ocean Body was being consumed. Larger, larger, larger. Remote Ocean Body broke into laughter, and the sound resounded through the boundless space. His godly body was suddenly enlarged, and he became 60,000 miles tall. The density of his body, therefore, became much lower. Yet the black whirlwinds were trapped inside Remote Ocean Body and needed to annihilate the godly power around them to move forward. The black whirlwinds kept consuming the godly power around them, but Remote Ocean Body had unlimited godly power. Remote Ocean Body had the same godly power as Universe Knights, said Luo Feng. I had a godly body at the height of more than 5,500 miles for you to destroy. Let's see how much your black whirlwinds can destroy. Luo Feng relied solely on the gigantic godly body. It was unlikely for an enormous godly body like that to fall. One wouldn't be able to destroy the body even if the body didn't fight back at all. After a few seconds, the 2 black whirlwinds dissipated after annihilating an enormous amount of godly power. You can destroy 9% of my godly body. Remote Ocean Body laughed. Ordinary Universe Knights can't damage 1/1000th of it even if they self-destruct. No wonder you're a Universe Overlord. Remote Ocean Body dashed at Pei Feng Knight. Pei Feng Knight had been chasing Luo Feng all along, and they were now only 6 million miles away from each other. Remote Ocean Body raced towards Pei Feng Knight. The original Earthling body is moving in the opposite direction with Remote Ocean Body moving in a straight line. I'll get closer and closer to you if you continue to pursue the original Earthling body. Blade River Emperor, do you really think you're invincible with that body? Pei Feng Knight roared. I'll let you know now that even a gigantic godly body like this is useless against me. Remote Ocean Body bumped into Pei Feng Knight. Explode. 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 Remote ocean body roared and blew itself up. What? Payphone Knight shouted, completely shocked. Never in his wildest dreams would he have expected this. Supreme beings with powerful godly bodies like that would never self-destruct. A godly body at a height of more than 5,500 miles would cost too much to recover, yet remote ocean body let out all its energies at once. The power was unbelievably mighty. An area of 60,000 miles around remote ocean body was dead silent, but everywhere within 600,000 miles was instantly blasted by the godly power. Space fragments flew hundreds of millions of miles into the distance. Bastard, came a furious cry from the center of the explosion. A blue figure stood at the center of the explosion. He was surrounded by black air. The 6 eyes glinted fiercely. Damn you! Damn you! Enough, Payphone Knight. 2 powerful figures stood face to face with each other. One of them was Payphone Knight, and the other was a werewolf great being, beside whom stood Luo Feng. Luo Feng looked at Jufeng Knight in front of him. Jufeng Knight had received the complete deified general inheritance. He was a candidate deified general and a universe overlord. Jufeng had arrived just as Luo Feng's remote ocean body exploded himself. Luo Feng flew beside Jufeng Knight, as he didn't want to continue the fight. Universe overlords are too powerful, Luo Feng thought. My remote ocean body can only injure him after self-destruction. Jufeng Knight and Payphone Knight faced each other at a distance. They were both candidate deified generals, and they belonged to the same category of deified general inheritance. Payphone Knight glared at the werewolf great being. You want to stop me, Jufeng? I'm human, Jufeng Knight said coldly. I'll surely defend a great being of my race. There were black whirlpools in all the 6 of Payphone Knight's eyes, and the airflow was tumbling around him. Then let's fight, he said. Jufeng Knight responded, Jufeng, you were not my match even before 20% of your godly body was depleted. I suggest that you leave. Otherwise, other great beings of my race will arrive soon. Bastard. Payphone Knight clenched his teeth. Damn it. He was exasperated. He was a universe overlord. It was strenuous to complete the deified general inheritance, yet he had done it, and as a universe overlord, he was seldom defeated unless he facing other universe overlords or universe masters. He hadn't risked everything yet. However, he hadn't expected to be attacked by the self-destruction of that godly body at a height of more than 5,500 miles. 5,500 miles. If it weren't for his true treasure armor, he would have been annihilated. Even with his true treasure armor, 20% of his godly body was gone. He was defeated by an undying fighter. Blade River Emperor. Payphone Knight roared, glaring at Luo Feng. You were willing to blow up your godly body. A godly body as powerful as a universe knight. A godly body at the height of greater than 5,500 miles. You are vicious. Luo Feng remained calm. All too easy, he said. I've underestimated you, Payphone Knight said. He stared at Luo Feng. Next time, I'll utilize everything I've got. I'll treat you like a universe overlord. Payphone Knight glanced at Jufeng Knight. Jufeng, you only rely on your true treasures. With that, Jufeng Knight turned into a beam of light and teleported himself away. Although they were both universe overlords, Payphone Knight came from a mighty race of Northern Territory Alliance. There were lots of races within the Northern Territory Alliance, but they only had about the same amount of resources as the Hong Alliance did. It was fortunate for Payphone Knight to have been given 2 true treasures. As for Jufeng Knight, he came from the human race, a pinnacle race in the universe with valuables to spare. Naturally, they highly valued their own great beings. Jufeng Knight had 4 true treasures, and they were a perfect combination. With his own mighty power and 4 true treasures, Jufeng Knight was indeed Payphone Knight's better. Good for you, Luo Feng, Jufeng Knight said. He glanced at Luo Feng with a smile on his face. The space gradually became peaceful, and the space fragments vanished completely. Jufeng Knight and Luo Feng stood facing one another. You just injured Payphone Knight, a universe overlord, said Jufeng Knight. You were able to injure someone who's able to fully operate the 3rd form of the true treasure armor on his body with his law comprehension. Impressive. Impressive, indeed. I'm just lucky. Luo Feng smiled. Generally, true treasures had different forms. For instance, his Shawu wing had 3 forms, and with the user getting stronger, it could be better utilized. When Luo Feng tried to drive Star Tower, he could feel that the lore engravings inside it were complex to the point of being incomprehensible. Thus, he couldn't even operate it at a minimum level, let alone make the best of it. Pei Feng Knight was a universe overlord, and that true treasure armor barely crossed the threshold of true treasures. He was indeed able to operate a true treasure in its third form, which was why he had only lost 20% of his godly body after a 5,500-mile-tall godly body exploded in front of him. Ju Feng Knight shook his head and looked at Luo Feng. It's because of your power. For what it's worth, I admire how you just blew up that enormous godly body. I'm not even in his league, Luo Feng said. I didn't have other option. Yes, Ju Feng Knight said. He indeed overpowers you to a large extent. After all, you're only undying, and your law comprehension can't even compare with him. He can wield the power of the same true treasure much better than you. I assume you're unable to make the best use of your true treasure wing? Yes. Luo Feng nodded. He had just started the second form of Shi Wu Wing. Besides, Ju Feng Knight continued, he underestimated you in the first place and didn't even consider that you might be a contender. In the future, you might not even have the chance to self-destruct and hurt him. Luo Feng nodded. In the future, Pei Feng Knight might keep his distance from remote ocean body. As long as he was more than 60,000 miles away from the center of the explosion, the blast wouldn't be dangerous. And if Luo Feng was too close to Pei Feng Knight, he didn't dare detonate remote ocean body, as he was afraid that his original Earthling body would be injured as well. This time, his original Earthling body had been millions of miles away from the center of the explosion. Naturally, he hadn't been hurt at all. If, however, his original Earthling body had been in close-quarters combat with Pei Feng Knight when he had detonated the remote ocean body, the original Earthling body would have been annihilated immediately, and Pei Feng Knight would have only suffered a few injuries. At that point, Pei Feng Knight would definitely have taken all the treasures left by Luo Feng's Earthling original body. He'll be on to you after this, Ju Feng Knight said. He'll definitely turn this around. I'll tell you about him to make sure you won't be bullied by him in the future. Luo Feng listened carefully. Pei Feng Knight has two true treasures, Ju Feng Knight said. One is a piece of armor, and the other is a blade. As his true treasure weapon is a blade, he devoted lots of his energies and time to close combat, and he created incredible blade techniques. His fighting power, together with his blade, can destroy lots of treasures in one strike. Luo Feng was stunned. You must have been able to resist his soul technique if you survived that fight, Ju Feng Knight said. As for some distant attacking skills, I'm sure you can handle them as well. The only thing you need to be ware of is his close-quarters combat techniques. They're his trump card. In close-quarters combat, he can fully utilize his true treasure blade. Even if you have true treasure armor, your godly body won't be able to withstand the shockwave. Ju Feng Knight shook his head solemnly. Unless you have a flying palace-type true treasure. Is the combination of his fighting techniques and true treasure blade really that powerful? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. Can it really destroy a treasure with a single strike? Does that mean my ancient boat galaxy would be at risk? There are different levels of treasures, Ju Feng Knight said. Some top-tier treasures and set treasures are already close to true treasures, and they are difficult to destroy, whereas some ordinary treasure armors or weapons will be fragile. Luo Feng nodded. Ancient boat galaxy was a top-tier treasure and was as valuable as true treasures. Besides, it had belonged to an inborn beast god known as Wine Master before. It should be solid. Remember, be mindful of his close-quarters combat techniques, Ju Feng Knight said. He nodded. All right, let's go back. Okay. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng knew he didn't want to reveal his trump cards. He had only utilized the second move of Star Map when fighting Bark Mirror Emperor. And when he was fighting Pei Feng Knight, he could have hidden in Ancient Boat Galaxy and let Mosha Body perform his talent technique domain to escape. However, if he had done so, he would have revealed two of his deepest secrets. Ancient Boat Galaxy and the talent technique domain. Only a few in the universe, including 9 Remoteness Master and Chaos City Leader, knew about domain. It was a vital trump card for him, as he could almost certainly escape from any enemies weaker than Universe Masters. Hence, he wouldn't use it unless his life was seriously threatened. As for the remote ocean body, at the height of more than 5,500 miles, he could recover it in no time. After all, he should at least show some real power. In the open-air square of the World of Glory, there was hustle and bustle among the heirs. What's the result of the battle? Bark Mirror Emperor's such a sore loser. He was the one who wanted a live broadcast in the first place, but he turned it off after realizing that he was at a disadvantage. It must be Bark Mirror Emperor who lost. That's right. He lost without a doubt. The heirs were upset by Bark Mirror Emperor. He had been exceedingly confident and had wanted all the heirs to watch the fight, presuming he would crush Blade River Emperor. It had indeed excited many heirs. The news spread across the universe, drawing attention from lots of supreme beings. Little did they expect Bark Mirror Emperor to cut off the feed halfway through the fight. Look, it's Blade River Emperor. All the heirs in the square looked towards the portal. A shadow appeared. It was Blade River Emperor. Luo Feng looked at the heirs in the distance. He saw his teacher True Yang Knight and his friends, including Cha Man Emperor. His voice resounded on the square as he said, "Hi, all. I've already finished the battle with Bark Mirror Emperor. Here is a clip of the battle." A blurry light shot out from Luo Feng's wrist guard, and a 3D virtual projection showed up in the sky of the square. The clip began at the point when Bark Mirror Emperor and Blade River Emperor met. The fight was fierce, but Bark Mirror Emperor was completely suppressed. Finally, at the end of the fight, Bark Mirror Emperor blew himself up in order not to be enslaved. It was a Universe Night level battle, yet both of them were undying. One was a special life form while the other was a timeless and peerless talent of the human race. But, to everyone's surprise, the result was that the human won, and the special life form was left with no choice but to destroy himself. Incredible. He died. Self-destruction. The heirs were astounded. They had already reasoned that Bark Mirror Emperor must have lost after watching the first half of the battle, but they didn't expect Bark Mirror Emperor to be so crushed so badly that he died. The square was filled with a sense of shock. The consensus was that only a Universe Knight could kill Bark Mirror Emperor. The heirs watched Luo Feng as he walked to where the heirs of Hong Alliance gathered. He sat beside his teacher True Yang Knight. Luo Feng glanced around and saw a shadow afar. Pei Feng Knight. Luo Feng frowned. Pei Feng Knight was also watching the video clip. He was visibly terrified to know that Blade River Emperor was making the footage of the battle public. Luo Feng could practically read his thoughts. Is he going to show the footage of him injuring me? Beings like Pei Feng Knight cared about their reputations a lot. Pei Feng Knight immediately connected to the world of glory with his consciousness. All good, all good. Pei Feng Knight was relieved. He only showed the footage of the battle between him and Bark Mirror Emperor. Pei Feng Knight suddenly turned around. While Luo Feng looked at him, they exchanged eye contact. Pei Feng Knight's eyes glinted aggressively. He moved his lips without making a sound, but Luo Feng could tell clearly what he had just said. Blade River, let's see who'll rescue you next time. I'll defeat you again next time. Luo Feng also moved his lips without making a sound. Pei Feng Knight vanished. Luo Feng grinned and looked back at the open-air square. All the heirs were amazed by the footage of the battle, and they all recorded it and transferred it back to the powers they belonged to. Likewise, the video was transferred to Hong Alliance and the human race. If I want to be a supreme being in the universe, I need to be a supreme being within the human race first, thought Luo Feng. Many Universe Knights within the human race are bitter because I made my settlement on the mountainside of Thunder Island. Words are useless, I need to prove myself with my records. Luo Feng smiled. Universe Knights like Nine Blade Knight will get to watch the footage soon. He made the footage public, as he wanted to prove his power with his record. To prove he could not only rival ordinary Universe Knights, but that he also killed them. The mountainside of Thunder Island was boundless. There were only 12 servants in Luo Feng's palaces, and they were all carefully selected sector lords. During the 80,000 years when Luo Feng had created the ultimate technique star map, Luo's family had developed into a true superfamily with its huge sum of resources. It was a top-tier superfamily in every aspect: members, training system, and a number of great beings. There was even a large group of sector lords. It was normal to train someone to be a sector lord, and it was easier with adequate sources. Barbata had been confident that he could raise Luo Feng to be a sector lord, and his resources were nothing compared to what Luo's family had. 2 sector lords greeted Luo Feng as he walked in the hallway. Family Master. Family Master. Their eyes gleamed. As Luo Feng's descendants, they worshipped him. You can walk out first, Luo Feng said as he quickly walked out of the hallway and arrived at the square in front of the palace, in front of which was a cliff. Yes, sir. The 2 sector lords walked out. Luo Feng looked out into the distance. A shadow flew toward him. It was True Yang Knight. Teacher. Luo Feng shouted, smiling. Luo Feng. True Yang Knight landed on a rock. Please, teacher, take a seat. Luo Feng walked along the path beside him. There were several pavilions on a square made of rocks, including exquisite wooden desks and chairs. They sat face to face with each other. You came here to pick me up immediately after I sent you an email. True Yang Knight said, looking pleased. You're such a good disciple of mine. I shall respect my teacher, Luo Feng said. Haha. Stop acting. True Yang Knight laughed. I know you want to know how other universe knights reacted. Don't you? You're so perceptive, teacher, Luo Feng answered. It had been 2 days since he fought Bark Mirror Emperor, and the footage had already spread throughout the human race. Many universe knights had watched the clip. It must have evoked strong reactions, because lots of universe knights had been dissatisfied before. Those same universe knights may have been amazed after watching the clip. Luo Feng felt good just imagining that. He wanted to see the look on those universe knights' faces. Luo Feng may not have cared about what ordinary lifeforms thought, but he did feel accomplished by dumbfounding those universe knights of the human race, many of whom had their own universe countries. Haha, I knew it. True Yang Knight guffawed. It never rains, but it pours. You never defended yourself when those universe knights were trashing you, yet you showed everyone the footage of you killing Bark Mirror Emperor. Luo Feng laughed as well. Well, just as you expected, those universe knights were all amaze. True Yang Knight said, excited. I don't know about others, but those same friends who asked me to tell you to leave the mountainside have now apologized to me. They wanted me to tell you how sorry they are. Sorry? Luo Feng was dazed. You proved yourself to have the power of a mid-tier universe knight by killing Bark Mirror Emperor, True Yang Knight exclaimed with amazement. You're so powerful, yet you're just undying. Those universe knights want to respect you as you'll definitely be a universe overlord when you become a universe knight someday. No one wants to be your enemy. Luo Feng nodded. When you were weak, supreme beings would look down on you. But when you were as strong as they were, or even manifested greater potential, they would apologize and try to befriend you. Luo Feng nodded. I've received quite a few congratulatory emails in the past 2 days, and lots of them came from universe knights. Universe knights like Ganwu Universe Master and Guiyi Knight, who were already close with Luo Feng, had sent emails to congratulate him immediately. Some universe knights Luo Feng had never met also sent him emails and told him that they would visit him a few days later. Of course, there were some universe knights who couldn't change their attitude instantly. Those were the ones who voiced their discontent the loudest. Meet as many as possible and be friends with them. True Yang Knight smiled. I'll stay here for the next couple of days. Some powerful universe knights won't take me seriously, but they value you a lot. I'll take advantage of that. Suit yourself. Luo Feng smirked. It's my honor to be taken advantage of by you. Luo Feng's palaces were alive with activity. Many universe knights had visited his place. When the news that Luo Feng killed Bark Mirror Emperor was made public, it meant Luo Feng entered a new circle, the Circle of Universe Knights. Great beings valued each other's power. Though Luo Feng was greatly valued by his own race, the universe knights within his race wouldn't associate with him voluntarily. To them, Luo Feng was a mere talent, and he was yet to be a great being. Whereas now, Luo Feng was already a great being, and he might get even stronger in the future. It was likely that he would become a pillar of the human race in the future. Jiyu Lun Universe Country Master, Hebei Knight, Golden Axe Knight. Luo Feng muttered, looking around. So many universe knights and universe country masters. In total, 163 supreme beings have visited here in the past few days. Family Master is so mighty. The 2 sector lords transmitted their voices. They were exhilarated that they could actually meet those legendary universe country masters and universe knights. These were individuals whom lots of undying fighters would never be able to lay eyes on. Luo Feng, True Yang Knight, and Nine Flames Universe Master were chatting loudly. Luo Feng turned around. A flash of light was flying toward them. Nine Flames Universe Master also turned around. Another universe knight? A man in a fiery cape appeared. He wore a mystical and alluring smile. True Yang Knight stood up. It's Guiyi Knight. Guiyi Knight, said Nine Flames Universe Country Master, standing up and greeting him. Brother. Luo Feng walked out. Guiyi Knight was the second disciple of Primal Chaos City Leader, and he had always served Primal Chaos City Leader. He was definitely one of the closest to Primal Chaos City Leader. His power was legendary, even a tiny portion of it could amaze many. He was the mouth and tongue of Primal Chaos City Leader who relied on him to deliver messages and execute orders. So lively here. Guiyi Knight looked at Nine Flames Universe Country Master. Nine Flames Universe Country Mazer, I didn't interject on your conversation, did I? Not at all. Luo Feng, Tru Yang, and I were just having a casual chat, Nine Flames Universe Country Master said. Gui Knight nodded and smiled. Good. Because I have an important matter. Huh. Luo Feng looked to Gui Knight. Brother, Gui Knight said. I'm here at our teacher's request to tell you that the application for you to join the Supreme Council of our race has been approved, and from now on, you'll be qualified to participate in the Supreme Council. The Supreme Council? Luo Feng was thrilled. He had expected that he would be accepted once he demonstrated his power, but he was still overjoyed. Finally. He was finally admitted into the ranks of the seniors of the human race. Tru Yang Knight smiled. Congratulations, Luo Feng. You too, as teacher and student, got admitted into the Supreme Council together. Nine Flames Knight laughed. It'll be a wonderful story for our human race to tell. Gui Knight continued, Brother, though you're qualified to participate in the Supreme Council, meetings are rarely held. Every time it is held, the Council discusses matters that are vital to us humans. However, based on what I know, there will soon be a Supreme Council meeting. The virtual universe system should send you a notification shortly. Oh! Expectations flashed in Luo Feng's eyes. So soon? Yes. Nine Flames Universe Country Master became solemn. Yes. There shall soon be one. Luo Feng, this Supreme Council meeting is all important. What is it about? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. It will be held very soon, and you'll learn all the details then, Nine Flames Universe Country Master said. Of course, this is only my speculation. It may not be about any specific matter. Luo Feng looked at Nine Flames Universe Country Master and Gui Knight, perplexed. Tru Yang Knight was also confused. Gui Knight and Nine Flames Universe Country Master left without elaborating on the Supreme Council meeting of the human race. Luo Feng and Tru Yang Knight didn't ask any further questions, as the meeting would be held in the near future. A message from the world of glory, said Luo Feng. Luo Feng's consciousness left the virtual universe and connected to the world of glory, where he received quite a few messages instantly. Some of them were from the heirs in the Hong Alliance, while some were from the system of the world of glory. Blade River Emperor, you're an exceptional heir of the Ancestral God School, said one message. You've proven your power with your records. And your records have attracted the attention of a beast god of the Ancestral God School. In the near future, Thunder Beast God of the Ancestral God School will arrive on Borhinia Island in the flesh and bestow you a valuable in public. Luo Feng was dazed by the message. Thunder Beast God would bestow him a valuable in public. What happened to Zhu Chong Emperor will finally happen to me. Luo Feng realized. He was thrilled. I remember that Bark Mirror Emperor wasn't conferred any true treasures, but Zhu Chong Emperor was bestowed 2 true treasures. One of the 8 beast gods will arrive on Borhinia Island and give me the valuable personally. Luo Feng was both stunned and exhilarated by the news. This video will end here.